It's like deja vu. It's going to be like deja vu. Because we're continuing on from yesterday. If you've forgotten, it was a pretty long-lasting matchup between I Forgot Loom and the Pangeodudes. And we're about to hop into Amazing Tunnel, which could be just as long as we've had so far. just in that game alone. So, I had to split it up. I wasn't ready for an amazing tunnel cast last night, but I am ready tonight for amazing. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I wanted Chrome. There we go. So as we can see, it's currently 2-1 up for Pangeodudes, which is, you know, very exciting for them. But a pretty convincing win on Haboob for Forgot Loom. The strategy was pretty darn good, but that does mean that we are now heading to the first of the home maps of the Pangeodudes. And I don't think that we've got much reason to hang about, other than waiting for more people to arrive, but they can catch up in the Rex, just like I'm catching up in the Rex. So, glad to have you all here, and let's go. Let's hop the darn hell into it. And also, stop that. Welcome to game number 3 of the Pangeodudes versus I Forgot Loom. And let me turn that desktop audio down just a little bit. Seems kind of loud. Don't want to get deafened by those sounds. It's going to be... The nice thing about Rex is that if this gets particularly slow, we can at least speed through some of those slower bits. I believe there's also a save and restore. Now, for those of you who have never seen Amazing Tunnel before, it's a tunnel. There's some hills in the middle with all of the relics. So, you know, grabbing this area in Castle Age is pretty important to secure some relic long-term stuff. It's less important in team games than it is in 1v1s, because obviously you can trade. So the chopping of wood in your corners is pretty important to set up some long-distance trade lines. Otherwise, it's only half of the length, which is still kind of, it's okay, but it could be better. It's very easy to wall up. You are very unlikely to receive a lot of feudal pressure because you've got the same distance, if not further, than you would do in Lombardia, which, as we have all saw yesterday, is quite the distance. So early walling is a requirement. But that's normally at higher ratings. Now, you don't want to do your walls here. You want to do your walls as far forward as you can to give yourself, if you do get pressured heavily in castle, space to retreat. If you only wall up right close to the hill, all it takes is the castle being here to or closer to pressure through. So you give up an awful lot of ground that you don't necessarily need to. Always give yourself space to pull back, especially because, again, you are unlikely to receive a huge amount of pressure at the start of the game because, like, you're about 1 million miles away from each other. So this time round we have the Hindustanis for Zachhalil, our resident Brit, and RealTHF playing as the Jurchens, the first of the Chinese civs that we've seen this set. Over on the other side we have Raw playing as the Khmer, and the Bohemians for Dr.Stone. Not even bothering walling. But we are kind of putting our houses down in a sort of makeshift wall. I have seen people do kind of a more defensive around their TC build on this before, but it wasn't hugely successful. You have to have a really tight, like, fast imp build or a really, really tight fast castle build. And I mean really tight fast castle build. Because what you do is by doing a super close wall, around yourself. It would be tough to do when your gold is potentially exposed and your stone. Is you do small walls around your base, lock in, fast castle up, and go unique unit. Neither of these civs particularly good for that. I mean, I guess we could a little bit with the Bohemians, and I guess we could with the Khmer. It's just it's expensive, and you can't get the numbers out. Still, I don't like. What even is the Jurchen unique unit? The that swordsman thing? No, Iron Pagoda and Grenadiers. So no, I was wrong. It's a heavy cav unit. I've heard fun things about Grenadiers. I've, again, not seen them. Because I have genuinely not watched much in the way of non-deathmatch Age of Empires recently. In fact, pretty much everything has just been deathmatch. Just deathmatch content galore. So, I like what Raw and Stone are doing here. Sent the two scouts together. I think what Stone does is just follow Raw, and so Raw is always in charge, but they are going to get focused down by that tiger. It does get noticed, and the scout will come over to support. And I think we're sending two vills. So two vills forward, and I guess they're going to either try and go for a sneak or find that we're walled, and then we are going to wall up here, which is about as good as it can be. Right? If you wall out your opponent from the middle, it means that now they're going to have to fight all the way through. You're very unlikely to receive a huge amount of early castle pressure because you're just not going to break through fast enough. And it's so easy to defend, especially if you get a couple of layers of stone walls. This means that you've effectively got a free boom to imp. Hey Sansol, how you doing? Hope you've been enjoying your tournament. I think it's been a roaring success, as Raw would say here. And again, these walls can be so much closer. Imagine if you put your wall right along here. Again, unlikely to be stopped, and it means that you can wall up multiple layers of wall to stop your opponent breaking through. Here, we can only really do one, maybe two layers of stone walls behind this, which... consider me whelmed. It's not like we can come out with the scouts. It is spotted. Nicely walled off. Not when there's two of our own scouts in play. But at the same time, when this kind of wall comes down, you feel pretty confident that you're not going to receive any early pressure. So I fully expect these guys to just kind of boom up now. And I might even quietly take it to 2x speed because this is going to be a touch of a slog. So stable blacksmith coming down for real. That for Zach. Zach does hit feudal. Looks like the build is not particularly tidy. Nobody actually going for the decent fast castle other than Real. Real has done that. Everybody else has a sort of vague feudal build that they haven't necessarily pulled off. There's a rough fast castle on the way in for Raw and Stone. We both go. There's our stone walls. Oh, obviously the Khmer don't even need their buildings to click up. They can just click. Of course. How foolish of me to forget that. Well, again, we've not seen much in the way of aggression from either team in the previous sets. They have been pretty tentative in going forward and trying to do significant damage. Though, I will say there was a lot of... The all-in was definitely there on Lombardia. So... 3 TCs, 4 TCs on the way down. Dr.Stone, they are just planning on full booming. Second TC on the way down for Zach. Second TC on the way down for Real. Raw, however, has used their stone already to get those walls up. I guess we do have 250 now, so I'm not sure why we're... Oh, there's the drop. There's the drop. How long of inactivity did we have? I think we'd been inactive for... probably since before Castle, you know? Yeah, the Vil move over. And that's the last input. So the last input was a good minute and a half that Raw has lost, because the save will be now, not when the drop happened. That's unfortunate for Raw. That is unfortunate. Quite a chunk of idle time off the back of that as well. Yeah. 37 seconds. Castle Age finishes. So we were still there. And then there'd been an auto click there. Still got some more actions. And then I think we dropped here. I think that was the drop. Yeah. Right there. Rough. Very, very rough. However, means that there is a second one, and let me find it. Let me pull it up right now. Would have helped if I'd prepped the downloads of it, really. Noob streamer. I've never done it before. So I want game 4, and I want to throw that in my save game folder. Okay, well, we will pop straight back into it, as we are continuing Pangeodudes versus I Forgot Loom. Immediate monastery, and we are planning to build more houses. We'll see. So now everybody's got 0 seconds of TC idle time, except Dr.Stone, who doesn't have enough Vils on food on farms to produce from 4 TCs, so that's a lot of idle time that's going to rocket up. But I guess we're going to balance that out by being able to make more Vils from more TCs, I guess. We're definitely going to need wood, though, for the amount of farms that we're going to need to throw down. And we're just layering up. 3 TCs on the way down for for Real. Still only 2 for Zach, but the eco lead is definitely there for Team Pangeodudes. That drop set about a minute behind for Raw, so there is definitely a good 4 or 5 Vils to catch up there, just because of the drop. Not a huge fan of this kind of walling. I think this, again, if the first wall had been further forward, we could have stonewalled up much nicer behind this. And I wonder if that will have an impact on this game. If they are going to struggle to keep Real and Zach in place. Doesn't look like we are pushing too far towards a particularly fast imp, but we're definitely not going to be taking an engagement for a while. So we will hop back to that 2x speed. Otherwise we will be here forever. Love me some amazing tunnel, but oh boy, can it be a slow one. A slow, steady burn. Plenty on wood here for Raw. Needs to transition some of these to farms. Imagine War's wood economies. Yeah, 34 on wood, 8 on farms, as the Khmer as well. Getting that food eco rolling would be really nice. Stonewalling up at home, so we do know that we're going to be pressured eventually. We are stonewalling forward. It would be useful to get a university down and get fortified stone walls. I like the rewalling up back here. Would prefer if it was stone walls. Like, houses are not a great deterrent for Castle Age onwards, if we're being completely honest. We are grabbing the relic, and we are at least making more stone walls at the back of the houses, so when the inevitable breakup happens, it will take that little bit longer. I also like that we're bringing the relics back into our own base instead of keeping them in the middle. So hopefully we will ungarrison that one soon. And Siege Workshop is down. Still no units out from either player. Castle at the front of the base for real. Just booming away. Both teams equal vills pretty much at the moment. Pretty much. And we have finally started making a little bit, I'm saying a little bit of military. I'm pretty sure it's just monks. Imp should be on the way in for Dr.Stone. And it is on the way in for Zach. But that is an idle. 4 TCs though. Only 77 bills. Real showing that he is the booming pro. Solid looking eco as well. So, will be in university on the way down for Dr.Stone. I mean, this could be the end of the series, right? It's the home map of Pangeodudes. I think their civs are pretty good for this. But they have lost a lot of ground. And Zach just does not have the equivalent eco. Monk defense. They're not regular. Oh, armored elephants can't be range, like you can't range convert them because they're like rams. So you can just batter through until they're close, until they're like a tile away. You can keep going, dude. They're equivalent to rams, not real elephants. Still, love Imp being on the way, prepping plenty of Khmer elephants, and the food eco is looking good enough to keep that going. Plus markets down for trade. This looks like a much better game from I Forgot Loom. Even go to real time. We might even go to real time. Both teams prepping their military buildings. Now that Imp is in, there's a reason why lower rated players prefer these kind of maps, because you know, you spend your whole darn time getting that slow, steady build up. Well, thank you for raiding. Hermetica. Yeah. Well, welcome. We are currently watching Pangeodudes versus I Forgot Loom. We're on Amazing Tunnel. And, my. Hopefully there'll be some damage soon. We're 32 and a bit minutes into this game, and there has been a restore. And Hofnitsa are out already for Dr.Stone. But we can't pressure. Forza, Stone. Forza. And here was me thinking Forza was a racing game. It's got cars in it, doesn't it? It's a slow, steady build-up. Keyword slow. It means let's go. That makes the Forza games even funnier, because you know put an Italian title on it. And it's just like, let's go, yeah, woo! And they want everybody to take it seriously, and everybody in Italy is just looking at it like, oh, it's just, okay, let's go, cars. Get it. Love that for them. 140 vils a piece for I Forgot Loom. Still only just over 100 for the Hindustanis. Hindustani low numbers of heavy camels and armoured elephants are probably not going to be great against a full mass of Halb Hofnitzer. Turns out Halb Hofnitzer kill everything that is currently on the field. Like everything. Terrible fight for the... ooh, we're even getting monk conversions in. Terrible, terrible fight. Right there for blue. And the army of green is also going to get cleared up. Again, absolutely no answer to the Halb Hofnitzers at all. Condimentero wants to see scorpions and elephants. Well, I mean, we kind of have the eco for it. We definitely have the eco for it. They probably feel like they don't need it though, not with the Hofnitzer that will shred down the castle if they're in enough numbers. It'd be very useful for them if they got rid of more of these, the remaining palisades though. It is choking them up. It means that, I will say these heavy rocket carts have done okay. A little bit of support. Forced some rams as we are managing to kind of hold. We shouldn't be able to, because again, Halb Hofnitzer should be the combo. Though we are starting to pump out those Hindustani hand cannons. That is at least a counter. Problem is that with enough of a meat shield, the Hofnitzer should range, right, 12 range. They should be able to put the pressure onto the hand cannoneers as long as they've got a little bit of distance. With enough of them, they'll just act like onagers. Need to be doing a little bit more in the attack grounds. Look at them getting absolutely flattened. It's a good pushback though. We might start to regain some ground. You made it. You made it, Only Scrolls. You've not missed too much. The damage has only just begun, really. We've had nearly 40 minutes of massing up, posturing for position, hiding behind walls. As the ram train, unsupported ram train, inches forwards. There's enough military here to clear it up, though. We kill one siege workshop. All of the Hofnitzer are dead. None left on the field. A transition to scorpions. Is that a misclick? No, heavy scorpions on the way in, so we're going for heavy scorpion as the Bohemians. That is a choice. It's not a good one, but it is a choice. Mind that we've got the Khmer here. Khmer should be going for Scorpion. Absolutely should be going for Scorpion. Siege Engineers in for the Bohemians. That's a good slow, steady pushback. I'm impressed with the rocket carts. They've been doing pretty well here, actually. Got some on the ground, more castles, their own mangonels. I need onagers and above to be of any use here in this fight. Realistically, I kind of just want heavy score out for Dr.Stone and Hofnitzer for I Forgot Loom. They should have the res for it. Then again, we've only got 5 trade carts, and I imagine gold is pretty low now. However, trade is not flowing at all just yet. And I don't think we've actually got our trade upgrades. I guess we can just lock off at the attack at the front and relax, really, because we're going to be here for a while as they batter each other until they run out of res. Gold not going to be an issue for red anytime soon. Is a bit more of an issue for both of the Pangea dudes. Flying stone. More siege. Heavy scorp. I mean, what's unfortunate is that the heavy scorpions are just doing quite well. And they shouldn't be, because I mean, do we just go for bombards of our own here? Because we could get siege engineers, we could just mass up our own bombards. And that would do great here. Bombards and rocket carts. Making sure that we've also got enough hand cannoneers. But just the amount of scorpions is actually a little ridiculous. It's a little ridiculous. And they are killing all. Who needs a reasonable comp? Anyone get tickets today? I got tickets today. I got tickets. I absolutely got tickets today. I got tickets to both the one in the cinema in the Odeon Lux, and I also got tickets to the grand finals. I'm really excited to have. Ooh, let's make that a little quieter. You know, why are you rocking up all the way in there? I'm very, very excited to have a big Age of Empires event in a large arena with, you know, lots of interesting stuff going on. I do find Empire Wars entirely dull, and I'm very uninterested in the game mode. So it's always a little bit sad for me where, like, the most exciting, like, live event that we can get in Age of Empires is Red Bull doing an event that is non-standard gameplay. Like, if it was deathmatch, I'd be more into it. The importantly bit isn't actually the grand final, which will be great. I genuinely think that you can probably skip the grand finals, right? Like, it will be Hera versus Lyri in the grand finals, and then Hera's gonna clap Lyri 3-1, 4 or 5-1 if it's a best of 7. Like, that's it. That's the whole storyline. But the Saturday and the Sunday at the Odeon Lux, that's gonna be good. And that is that one. Oh my god, it's sold out already. What the fuck? What the fuck? That's crazy. That sold out so fast. Okay, so we are attempting to re-wall at the front, and I'm not entirely sure why when we have this mammoth army, but we are going to have to try and push uphill. Rocket carts should do pretty well here. Again, 8+1 range. So they do technically outrange the Scorps, but not by enough that we can get significant like engagements here. We are going to have to try and stay on the hill. Like, that's a bit of our advantage. Are we doing Are we doing bombard towers? No, just guard towers. Okay. Architecture on the way in, and we're prepping some cap rams of our own. I don't know. The pathing of some of the siege here is pretty ass. I wonder if I will have more fun for Red Bull Wallaloo London than I did for the Hidden Cup. I don't know if it's possible, because I really enjoyed the Hidden Cup. Even if the finals were an absolute stomp. But the actual day itself, being in the venue, having been involved in the organising was just such a hoot. So it's going to be very hard for an event to top that for me. There we go. Bombard cannons are doing some good work here, keeping the Scorpions pushed back. But the position that we have, and I would like if everybody had more trade than they currently do. It's like, we probably don't need 113 villages or 126 vills. We probably need like 60, maybe 70 vills. And then the rest need to be trade carts, long term. I'm saying that, but they seem to be using their food. I guess we are investing quite heavily into Hussar. For the amount that we have on food, we aren't collecting all that fast. It's not like we've got a big queue, so I don't know where it's all going. Yeah, finally a red trap. Yeah, well, this is a guaranteed over game. There's no real coming back from this. We don't have the gold, we don't have the position, we don't have the economy, and we don't have the military. With the front of the base locked off, there is no way to deal with this. Two. It is indeed a best of 5, going the full 5 games. The Italians, they don't want to go out easy. They are not going to go silent into the night. Oh, no, no, no. They're going to push the Pangeodude to the limit by taking Pangeodude's home map. Quite convincingly. Grabbed position, walled their opponent out, got to imp, had the bigger army, pushed through, timed their aggression nicely. Lack of decent siege out for Pangeodudes, I think, really hurt. And not having an answer to the Halb-Hofnitzer combo early on really put them on the back foot. With raids coming in now, it's going to be a 2-2 game, for sure. And there we go, the GG comes in as our yellow team take this to the distance, the full distance. Amazing tunnel, comfortable win for I Forgot Loom. It's 434 Halbs, 146 heavy Scorpions produced that game. Just by the way, 146, which is a good hearty number. Some might say a good hearty number. So should be another recording. Yes, there is. It is the second of the home maps for I Forgot Loom. So that was an amazing tunnel loss, and that was the Bohemians and the Khmer winning, and the Hindustanis and Jurchen loss. And it genuinely, they are just going along the line. So do we get Magyar Spanish next? Not quite. Not quite. So we will be going to Chaos Pit for our game 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Just so it's nice and obvious where we went. Oh, do I remember which order they played it for these ones? Oh, Persians wasn't a loss. Persians was a win, wasn't it? I'm pretty darn sure. I can't remember what the other civ was, though. And they lost with Vietnamese and someone else. Well, at least I've forgotten one of the civs for both teams. Celevi, unless they kept the same civs and swapped one. I don't remember. What I do remember, though, is that we are hopping into our final game of the set. Welcome to game number 5 of the Pangeodudes versus I Forgot Loom. And I would like... Hold on. I want it to be stone, because we got used to yellow and blue. I would like it to stay yellow and blue. Welcome to game number 5. We are on Chaos Pit in our Pangea 2v2. We have Raw playing as the Malay, partnered up with Dr.Stone playing as the Burgundians. We have Zach playing as the Byzantines, and indeed the Magyars for real. Now, the question is, do they know this map? Are they comfortable on Chaos Pit? Do they know not to go and chop through diagonally? Do they know that they need to move to the flat side? Look, there is only 3, like a layer of 3 trees if you go to the edges. Right, it's only 3. It doesn't take you too long. But if you go through diagonally, what do you see? It might be 3 trees diagonally, but that means that you actually have to chop through more than 3 to get through. You have to do like loads more. Like loads more. So you don't want to go through the diagonal wood chopping. You want to be in the flat bit. And then, as soon as you're through the flat bit, you want to send some vills around the side to wall off, to make sure that you're safe in the back. The only access to gold that anybody will have is on the outside. In the middle, there is stone, there is food, there is some relics, and oh, some foxes. I guess foxes technically have gold on them, right? Yeah, so there's 70 gold right there in the middle. That's enough for a couple of archers. Are there more foxes on this map, or is it just the 2? Yeah, there's more foxes on the outside. Only the 2 in the middle. Only the 2 in the middle. Okay, well, Byzantines Magyars versus Malay Burgundians. I mean, I heavily favour Magyars Byzantines here. I think they're the right kind of civs to play on this map. Magyars, obviously, particularly strong. Oh, Zach was... Thank you, Sansol, for remembering. Magyars are particularly strong on this because, obviously, you're going to be going scouts or skirms, what with the lack of access to gold. So you don't really want to be going for an archer civ right here. Or if you do, you want to be going for an archer civ and going skirmisher. Imagine. So having a civ that has that easy early pressure with that +1 from the Magyars would be very, very nice. And both players deciding to group their chop through attempts together. On the one hand, it means that you can react together and you've got more vills together, and so you are less vulnerable to like early scout pressure, that kind of thing. But it does mean that if you wall off or don't wall off, and your opponent goes scouts and just beelines round and finds your wood line, you can lose both of your attempts to chop through very, very easily. So that can be a risk. No loom. Loom on the way in, though, for Zach and Real is risky with the little trickle. Scout could have found a couple of unloomed vills. Put a bit of pressure there. But they are spotted. Real points out where their lumber camps are. Pings it. He's like, they're both there. So they know where they're putting pressure. They are definitely beelining some pressure. Not the bunnies. Not the tiny hoppy bunnies. This map got cruel. This map got brutal. Murdering the adorable little hoppers. How dare they? So, up on this north side, we are walling in our wood lines. And you, the villager, is going on a walk. I love that preemptive walling. Really nice. Feudal Age only just on the way in for I Forgot Loom. So significantly far behind compared to Zach and Real, who have clicked up already, and they have protected their wood line. They are ready for any pressure that was going to come their way. I would prefer these two vills to be focusing on helping chop through instead of this one. Again, you want to get through pretty much as quick as you can. Ooh, Vils and Scout came forward to try and be a bit of a nuisance, but instead it doesn't go their way. That's one dead Vil. We accidentally wall them off. Barracks on the way down. Still, it's nice that we're going to grab some food. Got enough Vils there to put some pressure. And it's, oh, that ends up being an immediate bad fight for the Scout. There are enough Vils here. We went for a watchtower. Feudal Age in for raw. We pull back, we make the stable further back. Tower pressure for the melee. Is it worth it? This tower coming down here. I guess this tower. Now this tower is the real question of if it's worth it. This tower should be here. Right? If like you want it sort of semi on the hill, protecting your berries as it stands. It means that you give up the hill. If there was any, like, skirmishers could come around, dodge past the tower, they could chill over here, and they can completely deny your food eco, which can be rough. That should be a dead Vil, though. And it is. Magyar's looking groovy. As we're attempting a tower creep. Sure, I love it. How close are we to chopping through? Pretty close. Pretty close. 2 tiles left. How about on this side? It's the same. 2 tiles left. Give up on that bit. It is a tower creep. I would like us to be on stone. I do think that we can be pressured, especially if the towers... We get a tower up over here. That could be really rough, but we're just taking food casually. Sent the scouts round to do a bit of damage. That's the play. Kill more things. But more idle time for Real, though. Who, that little bit of pressure definitely put some fear there. And we are walling up nicely. Pressure. Scouts from Dr.Stone coming to see if they can do a little bit of damage up to this northern side. There are some exposed Vils. Oh, I swear, if we try and semi-wall up here and then we open the gate again, I will cry and mark it on the way down for raw. Why? Is it to get more wood? to try and get gold? What are we after here? What is this market going to achieve? Not pinging it. Now just sending the scouts together. Skirms and spears. Look at how many exposed vills there are here though. No military to protect them. Brave. And we did notice the attack coming our own way. That's at least 1, 2 dead vills. Good damage here at the front. Got 4 kills on these scouts. 4, 5, 6. Good damage. Absolutely good damage. And now they just turn around, be like, oh, losing that spear is unfortunate. Now we're going to put some pressure in. Can we get... I don't think we break through before they chop through, which is unfortunate, but we're chopping through ourselves. As soon as you see this, I would be very, very seriously tempted to just pull the scouts back, because we're walled here, right? But the thing that you can hope to do is maybe do some damage the other way. So pull the scouts back, pull them back to your wood line because we're about to chop through, and then send them round because you can maybe pick off vills as they make their first transition round. Market on the way down. Still, tower pressure has kind of stopped. We're just using it to kind of secure the food area, but there's not much food here. This tower is effectively pointless. You would prefer this tower kind of anywhere else. Market will finish for Zach, as we are almost chopped through. Who chops through first in the chop through race? 39, 45. So that's the closest one, I think. Is over on the other side. 64, 75. 5, and we're through. We're through. So the chop through is actually faster for Zach and Real, and they have noticed, and so we loop round immediately. The aim is to find gold, and the next aim should then be to wall off. Genuinely, getting early walls off to the side is super important. These scouts, I would love for them to be out round the back trying to get in. There we go, look at it. Imagine if the scouts were here, right? Like, instead of them sitting so idly, if as soon as we'd seen that we couldn't get any damage done here, if they'd headed round already, those scouts would be here hitting the lumber camp and the gold just as they broke through, and there would have been no response to it. Game would have been over right then and there. Instead, we're only doing the transition now. I guess we're actually coming over to try and support Raw. I don't think... Not to support Raw, to try and deal with Raw. And I don't think we necessarily need to bother. All it takes is a few towers of our own. This area isn't that important. Not right now. Having access to the stone is. Making sure we were able to get a castle down is groovy. But this tower push is not threatening any res that is particularly important, right? To be walled up nicely. Scouts are looping round, but the walls will be up. We'll be safe. Looping round from two sides. Basically, the Pangeodudes are doing everything right. Scouts spotted. They're doing everything right, but they're doing it just a little bit too late. Like their timings are a little off. They are thinking of all the right things to do, which, you know, is great. Like, that's so good, certainly at this rating, to be making the right decisions, even if they're a little delayed, is brilliant. We're behind in vills though. That's because Zach hits Castle Age first. So, what's the plan for Zach? Archer transition. A little bit of a vulnerable spot here. You can see that you can get that semi-surround on the palisade. I would be suggesting putting a stone on either side of that. instead of a watchtower. Castle Age on the way in for Raw. Market abuse for everybody. Everybody abusing the market to try and get their click-ups. And click-ups are not far away for Real either. Selling stone to buy food. And there's that tower. Exactly in that vulnerable position. 2 dead vills. What? Were they accidentally deleted? No, they just weren't. They just popped out and we weren't looking. Well, that's unfortunate. Poor Real. Poor Real. Anyway, pressure down south as we are comfortably walling this out. We won't be getting in anytime soon. Will the other scouts come in from the other side? No, we are safe. We are safe as houses. Castle on the way in. Can Raw get a castle down immediately? No. So, look at how many towers we've got here. The towers that have actually done anything useful is this tower here, the first tower, so these 2, and now this one. These are the useful towers. These ones are useless. That one's a bit useless. This one, not pressuring anything really, other than providing support for this tower. So that's what? There's your castle, right there. Now, if we were hitting Castle Age and immediately throwing down a castle with the melee, that would be different. Then, especially because the melee unique unit is so cheap that you can span them out to be a nuisance raiding unit. Like, you'd be cooking on gas. Defensive TC. Defensive TC on the outside for Raw. So we just pull back all of the scouts. Defensive castle at the front for Real. And that should be 2 dead vills. The castle comes up comfortably as well. And I guess we're just going to use the scouts to put that pressure on. Towers will go down. But Raw's in Castle Age 2. Cavalier upgrade on the way in. And skirms and archers slinking in the back. Stable on the way down for Dr.Stone, who wants that Cavalier transition. The numbers are relatively low, though. And we are trapped in. I would be kind of like, we're pulling the scouts back, but actually keeping them, some of them, at least something like around here, so we can see that there's no further expansion. This is the only gold they've got access to for 2 players. Like, that's not great. What else isn't great is that there's also no response to this army that is putting this much pressure onto Dr.Stone. 103 vills to 96, so Pangeodude's still behind, technically. I think a lot of that is down to idle time, which Dr.Stone doesn't have quite the same amount as Real and Zach. And Raw's been doing a perfectly good job of producing from 2 TCs. 62 vills for Raw. Everybody else below 60. Only 40 for Dr.Stone. But Dr.Stone has lost 9. Pangeodude will kill the skirms. And we're going to try and get the repairs in. We just sacrifice the pikes in to try and kill the Pangeodude. Pangeodude gets a shot off and kills 1 crossbow, so okay. Not a good trade, but serviceable. Knight goes down. Our whole eco's been idle for quite some time. We do have over 1,000 food in the bank, though. More TCs. 3rd TC for both. Actually, I'm saying 3rd. It's only the 2nd for Real. He's been doing all of this defense. I guess getting that castle down was pretty important to him. To defend against this push. Still, no real support for yellow. Who has got Vils on the outside. So that's something, but doesn't have a second TC. Do we have stone for Dr.? No, we don't have any stone for Dr.Stone. Do we have a market? I don't think we do. So we can't even buy a stone. So we are fully having to deal with this as a second TC. Nice additional raid just when red wasn't looking. That's great damage. That's great damage. My. God, everything's buzzing. It's going to be very hard to... We still have a decent Vil count. But I guess that's just raw. And our military numbers are not good at all. And our eco is idle. 2 TCs, got a little bit of expansion going. But it's that access to gold that's going to start getting harder and harder. Only 1,000 in the bank. And if these light cav were just chilling over here, staying around here to just catch any expansion on both sides, one of the most useful things that you can do is make sure that you stop your opponent expanding round. That's normally why you wall off most of the map. Keep an eye out. We're going to chop through in a second spot in a minute, which is nice. I guess that'll give us way more access to gold, and we've got a decent little military going on over here. The castle coming up, and so much pressure onto Dr.Stone. Down at 52 Vils now. We're going to lose even more as we are trying to pull our entire economy out to that southern corner. The army count is crazy, 33 to 17. And all of that, by the way, all of that is these crossbows. So Dr.Stone doesn't have anything to defend with, just 2 Cavalier on the field. It's not going to do particularly well against Magyar Cavalier and Magyar Cav. And there's a gap, there's a hole, we chopped through the hole, that's more pressure, we try and wall them out, but that's more things that can get hit, and that's yellow's fledgling eco. Look, there we go, we did come over at exactly the right time, we were thinking about it, but imagine if they were there already. Again, it's that little bit with Real every single time where it's like they are thinking about exactly the right things, that like the thought process is so right, but always just like a little bit behind. And they must be tired. I mean, it was a long set for them. Certainly for Raw and Dr.Stone, like this would be what? Coming up to 2 o'clock in the morning, I think. Every other game, like Amazon Tunnel went for 45 minutes. We were at 12 then. So this is probably 20 past, 1:30, depending on how fast they were. They also had the... Yeah. Brutal. Brutal. They are slowly, steadily catching up in military numbers. But they are completely locked out of the middle. But they have decent presence on the outside. The army here is good for Raw. And you don't want to call it when your army's good. It's spotted though. You grab these Vils and you just stonewall up. Like, you grab them, you stonewall up like ASAP, because you know that army could come your way. It's lucky for them that it's not. The army's moving into the middle to try and deal with this, I guess. I don't know. Instead of stonewalling, we're just going to throw down a castle. I guess that's fine too. I would much prefer if the castle was here, because then you can block off this bit and you can force them into the castle route. This way that we're still completely stroll round, so we're not actually blocking much. Mr. Castle Drop. And so did Zach. Does he even see it? He's like, you castle drop me? No, 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 I castle drop you. That's hilarious. That'll be a few dead vills, especially because Zach is, again, allergic to economy. Only 69 vills, and we've been in a position to produce. We're going to lose a fair few of these vills to the raid there. But the middle will be cleared. Does notice before he loses too much. And it's not like we're going to be producing anything out of these castles, really. The eco is not super happy. Some mangonels, though. What, 3 mangonels? If we got 3 mangonels out, Raw's dead. Doesn't look like that's likely, though. The Imp for Zach has done good things. I guess this castle isn't the most threatening thing in the world when you can just trickle a couple trebs back. Treb 1, Treb 2. You will want to make sure that you have some army, and you'd probably actually want the Treb to be over here, so it's at least by your TC. They're spread out. Can't really defend it. You could grab all the vills and just rush it down. No military in defense. Army looping round to see if they can do some damage. But we're not even seeing it. We're not even seeing it. We're just trying to catch back up. Such a good military mass up for Raw. And Raw has... Basically, Raw's played this absolutely fine. Decent military. Solid eco. Has received a bit of pressure. But all in all is pretty good. Oh, that's a lot of dead vills as well. That's 15 dead vills for Dr.Stone. Didn't even manage to kill the TC. So that was 13 vills dead for nothing, really. Oi. Still, getting some value on the wood lines. Unnoticed by Real. Down to 68 vills. Like, the total vill count, pretty close. Military count, actually better. Raw is looking good. The only problem, they aren't likely to be able to click to Imp anytime soon. And Zach is in Imp. So just trickling a few trebs along. And maybe, like, can we even get Onager? Yeah. The Onager upgrade would be perfect. Oh no! Zach! Yo, Eco's gonna be absolutely toast. GG for who? Imp on the way in, but what's Imp gonna give you if you've got no vills left? Look at how many vills are having to pull back. Yo! Down at below, like, our vill count is now better for Forgot Loom. Significantly better for Forgot Loom. We've split off in 2 halves. They're not going quietly into the night, though. Big army to start pressuring. Trebs forward. Honestly, Onager is the thing. Or at least some mangonels. That's more dead vills on the gold. Pangeodude's in the damn hell here. Mango out. There we go. Good mango attack. Can we get a second? It's fine. Third? Another mangonel will pop out. Good damage there. Well, front pressure. Gonna struggle against the Rams. Having skirms of our own will do well here. Trying to send vills forward to get a castle down, but the castle is already up. Raw's not going to be able to get that castle. That'll be dead vills, and our little army did get cleared. No response to the one in the back, though. 66 and 62 vills to 76 and 98. Military still in favour of I Forgot Loom, but it's 2 players in Imp versus 2 players Perma in Castle. And if they can stabilise an eco while they're both in Imp, this should be hard to deal with. But the damage that they managed to do was pretty damn good. I'm just completely ignoring that. So idle. Green having to pull back. Make palisade walls? Okay, vibes. Skirmisher with all of their upgrades. There's not enough military left now for I Forgot Loom. Raw is effectively fighting 2v1. Took Loom quite a while to sort of catch back up to numbers, to eco numbers that they felt comfortable with. But all the while, they have not been producing military to support our red player, who is having the eco plummet. It's going to take a while for them to be quite as low, but this is a very important bit of expansion. The access to gold starts to become an issue again. We've got 1 here. We're trying to get stone walls down, but stone walls against trebs and siege and everything is probably not going to be enough. The Vil's trying to retreat to the north side. They're going to be dead as well, especially with army also trickling in from the north. We are completely hemmed in. Cavalier trying to support now. Finally, now that we're over 100 Vils, trying to support, trying to join in. But it's going to have to be a full Castle Age play. We didn't manage to stop them breaking in. The camel stopped it. A couple of elephants will do pretty good, but they're elephants without any upgrades. Only 2 base pierce armor, so even skirmishers in numbers will be able to kill these battle elephants. Oh, melee elephants are, you know, they're not the hottest thing. They are not the hottest thing. Still, Cavalier dive in at a decent time. They get rid of the trebs. Cavalier will do absolutely fine against the skirmishers. I guess the one benefit of having the Burgundians with you is that even if you go for a perma Castle Age play, you do have an imp unit, even if it's missing a few of those upgrades that you might want as the game goes on. Just being able to get them in play is super useful. That's allowed us to clear up this army, maybe buy back a little bit of space. Maybe buy back a little bit of time for Dr.Stone and Raw. They didn't forget Loom today. Their eco is still, like, their Vil count is still better, but I'm feeling like we could buy our way to Imp for Dr.Stone, actually. Is it worth it? Do we say, no, sack that off, sell as much of that wood as we can, and it's not for clicking to Imp, it's for more stables, more Cavalier. And then have Raw try and get to a position where Raw can click to Imp. Instead, Dr. Stone clicks. It's a lot of res that we now no longer have. Again, we need that gold. We need the military numbers. We can do some counter damage. Zach still has an absolutely... Like, we've got over an hour of TC idle time. Zach's eco is awful. Zach is fully allergic to building villages. I get it. Like, I'm here with him. I am also a eco abandoner. His military control's been fine. Nice little follow, decent engagement. But honestly, Elephant's doing good work. We'll clear this little army. Cavalier probably win that fight, you know. They have better upgrades. You don't need to be frightened of that. I think you can just win it. I think you just win that fight, especially if you time it right and take it on a hill. you just win. You don't win now. You pull back, and there's enough units in play there. Still, 4 TCs, 125 fills. Stone will hit Imp. And their eco is 40 vils better. Military is still close. Again, we were in such a good winning position. But it's a bit of that. They don't push right. And they don't work as a team enough to be able to, like, end the game. So maybe it's a communication thing. They're probably not acting. I can't imagine one of the Real's really the captain, right? Like, the one that's supposed to be saying what's going on. And I think at this rating, at this level, you probably don't have the time yourself to be looking over at what your ally's doing. Check in with your lower rated player what their vil count is, or at least reminding them to make vils or trade is incredibly important, I think, in these kind of duo games. And I don't think that's happened, because that's the limiting factor here, because we're not able to push because our eco has never really got up to the position where we could roll with it. We've got so much stone. Let's get more. We've got 3 castles. We could have more. we could have more. We should be having castles locking down all the sides. Yeah. Amazing stubbornness to keep them in the game. And look, it's a deja vu moment from Dr.Stone. Military is there. And we got a whole ram train coming forth. Paladin on the way in. Must be an exhausting game for the players. Absolutely must be an exhausting game. More and more raids. Again, maybe part of the struggle for them is that Raw needs to be an imp as well. Arbalest is a pretty necessary upgrade for them. The wall-offs didn't work though. That's more vils on gold being hit. We might eventually hit 100 vils. We are stubbornly sending vils forward to try and get that castle down. No. Do you think it's a miss-click? Do you think these vils are trying to... Because they're gold miners. What is that? That's not the castle that you want. These heavy camels will shred everything that poor Dr.Stone was making. It is a full deja vu play. A full deja vu play. All at the same time, our units are raiding into the economy, which is now starting to plummet. For the first time in the game, we might actually drop below the vil count of the Pangeodudes, as Zach might get the win before he gets 100 villagers. Castle stays up as well. And yeah, we tried to get another sort of defensive TC down so we could garrison more vils, but no, that's more punishment, more vils being killed. There we go, below 230 combined and below 100 for Raw. The damage is high. The raids also hitting all of the exposed economy for Dr.Stone. This has to be the nail in the coffin. This has to be the thing that finishes them off. Elite Magyar Hussar also on the way in. Dr.Stone now below 100 vils. Raids absolutely everywhere. Raw doesn't really have the position to click up. And even if he did, it's going to take so long to get anything going. And we're losing vils faster than they can make it. But it's a clear up. Down at 62 vils. Zach no longer with the lowest vil count in the game. Though, including idols, maybe still competing. 76 idols for I Forgot Loom though. Again, this is the tournament life on the line. But 2 lots of trebs. And only 1 relic in the bank. Trying to get a castle on a wood line, I guess. But no, it's too late, I feel. Too late. Nuisance little raids, nuisance little bits of damage. Cav archers just staying outside, were staying outside of range, picking off vills. It's amazing how well Raw did at keeping his vill count up. But Stone has lost all of the vills. Oh, but that's because we tried to go for Flemish Militia. You kind of need over 100 vills, really, for Flemish Militia to be worth anything. And we definitely were not over 100 vills this time. The all-or-nothing Flemish Militia play takes us down to 0 villagers, 4, as we are trying to make a few more. But we have no food. Other than the little trickle that I guess we get from the relics. Is that a thing? Yeah. So we will have a little trickle from our relic. So we'll be able to afford a villager every so often. But the GG rolls in as they know that the damage is too much, too high. And we finish with 123 military on the field for the Pangeodudes. As I Forgot Loom not able to take the final home map of the Pangeodudes. It was an excellent set. And I am glad I didn't try and keep playing, because that was another hour and a half at least of like real time hour and a half on top of what we had already. So yeah, well done. Well played to the Pangeodudes. I really liked the thoughts that went into some of the moves. I would have liked them a little bit earlier, but every single time those thoughts were reached, every time that I was like, it would be really nice if they were going to do this, they did eventually do that. So, respect. That means, I guess, that we have our semi-finalists. Guess if Nos is throwing that in. Pangeodudes versus the Avengers. We got Team Deadshot versus Pizza Baguettes. Semi-finals locked in. That is all I'm going to cast today. I just wanted to finish that one off. Now I'm going to go and sort my dinner out and make sure that I do the bins. You know, the riveting job of an adult of doing the bins. But this has been a great set. I've really enjoyed myself. And I hope you guys have too. I will see you again in the future. I don't know if I'll be casting any of the semi-finals. Again, I am quite busy at the moment. But if something pops up and I'm free, I would absolutely love to. But there are so many good and enthusiastic casters at the moment who are into playing right now. So who should we raid? It's there's not really anybody that that I would necessarily recommend raiding. So, you know, whoever. Unraid. You raided daggers last night. You could raid Solaf. Solaf's playing. You could raid Meister Nippon. They're all in German though. They're playing with Shiksu. Addictive Me is not playing Age of Empires at the moment. Elajashek's streaming in Russian. Who looks like the Nando VT is streaming Sudden Disaster 2 for charity. but that's nice. It's okay with me. Thank you everybody for hanging out. I've enjoyed being invisible. I've enjoyed hanging out with you. I will see you all in the future and have a lovely time. Good night.